In the 1980s, there was an amazing little girl by the name of Samantha Smith. Back in the 1980s, everybody, including Samantha, was very worried about the prospect of a nuclear war. Yet, instead of sitting idly by, Samantha took it upon herself in 1983 to write a letter to the Soviet President Yuri Andropov asking him not to have a war. Yuri Andropov was so touched by her courage that he invited her as America's youngest ever diplomat to visit him in his country in 1983. She did an amazing job representing her country, and then when she came back in the following year, 1984, the Disney company gave her her own politics show called Samantha Smith Goes to Washington. She did such an amazing job at that by 1985 Hollywood had their eyes on her, and she was cast to star alongside a veteran actor called Robert Wagner in a soap opera called Lime Street. Now, very sadly, 1985 was the last year of her life, as on her way back home to Maine, the aircraft that she was travelling in crashed into a forest and she was killed. Today is the 25th of August 2025, exactly 40 years on, and I wanted to make a movie in her memory. Hi, my name is Brian King. I'm 54 years old and I live in Tiverton, Devon. Today, the 25th of August 2025, is a very special day for me because exactly 40 years ago today, Samantha Reed Smith, someone I very much admire, died in a plane crash. Now, Samantha was America's youngest goodwill ambassador, and she was invited to the Soviet Union by the Soviet President Yuri Andropov. And very tragically, on her way back to her home state of Maine, she was killed in a plane crash. So today, I want to reflect on the year 1985 and compare Exeter, how it was then and how it is now, and how my life was then and how my life is now. Back then, that was the pivotal year in my life. That was the year my parents divorced. That was the year I first tried alcohol and tobacco, thankfully neither of which I still do. And that was the year I had my first girlfriend. So I have a Maine themed breakfast here, blueberry pancakes, the state fruit of Maine, and a cereal that I would have eaten myself back in the day, Cocoa Pops. And then when I finish that, I'm going to go and pick up a very dear friend of mine, Mrs. Emma Curley, and then we're going to go to Exeter to remember Samantha. Hi, I've arrived at Emma's house. I'm just going to knock on the door. Hi Emma, lovely to see you. Hi.
Hi, my name's Emma, and I met Ryan at Pizza Hut and we worked there together. It became clear that me and Ryan would get on because we both shared an interest in creative writing, which was great to share together. The story I liked the most of Ryan's was the Samantha Smith story, which I helped to illustrate, and so I'm very happy to be here on this 40th anniversary.
Thank you very much, Emma. On Samantha's special day, I've chosen to come to Rockfish Seafood Restaurant in Exeter, because this is where I lived in 1985, and this is the only restaurant online that I could find that did Samantha's steak food of lobster. So, let's get stuck in. The lobster. So, here we have it, nice lobster for lunch on the 40th anniversary of Samantha Smith's day. So here we are, here's to Samantha. Cheers. Thank you very much. Sidwell Street in 2025. Back in the day, this John Lewis store used to be Debenhams, and I used to have so much fun playing on the escalators and in the elevators when I was a kid. Now, right over here, we have the Sainsbury's local store, just behind these taxis. And back in the day, in 1985, this Sainsbury's local used to be Exeter Pram and Toy Shop. They sold pushchairs and prams downstairs, and then you went up the stairs following a green snake handrail into an Aladdin's cave of wonderful toys. Happy memories. The final leg of our tour for Samantha today, so we've come to Exeter Cathedral to light a candle in her memory. Over here, look. Here are all the candles. Okay, so there's one for you. There's one for me. Right, now I'm going to place a candle here and say, thank you very much, Samantha. Thank you for the way you've changed my life. Thank you for bringing Emma to me. Now Emma is going to place a candle on the thing. Would you like to say some words to Samantha?
I pray for Samantha, I pray she's at peace, and it's wonderful to celebrate her life today.
Lovely. Well, there we go. This is the last stage of Samantha Smith's Memorial Day. I've written, "Thanks Samantha," from Ryan. Good luck to whoever finds the balloon, and I've taped a fiver to it. And Emma has written, "Thanks Samantha for being an inspiration and everything you did. Love, Emma." So what we're now going to do is go and release these balloons. We are on the last leg of our journey. We're letting off some balloons at Budley Salterton Beach, just up the cliff path, to remember Samantha. So, Emma, say thanks Samantha and release yours.
Thank you, Samantha.
Off it goes. Away it goes. Right, thank you Samantha. Here comes mine. There we are. The wind's blowing in that direction. It looks like they'll get it over there.